Hello.
Hi, this is Penny once again, and today I am with a very good friend. She was my classmate in the coaching program in ACTP of Benchmark Consulting. She was with a conglomerate before, doing very well, and she decided to leave the country. And we were all surprised that she left the country to go to Spain. So Mia Zamora is a Filipino, even though her name is very Spanish, and and she is in Madrid. Mia, can you introduce yourself and what are you doing in Madrid?
Hello. I'm so happy to connect with you today and to have the opportunity also to connect with others who are following you, Penny. I'm doing an executive MBA here at IESE Business School in Madrid. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time now. I've always wanted to live in Spain at least for a while because I wanted to kind of retrace my roots because I have two grandfathers who are from Spain. So it was always a dream of mine to learn the language, to live here, to be amongst Spanish people and see what the culture is really like. So I've been here for little over a year now, like a year and 3 months maybe, and really loving it so far, except of course when this happened. So yeah.
So you're studying there. Kamusta naman ang studies mo now that Spain is, I think, is in a more strict lockdown than here. Kasi
Yes.
hardly hit ang Spain.
Yes, we were meet our classes were face to face before all of this happened. And the week that the lockdown was announced, that was I think the 10th of March, we converted to online classes right away that weekend. And it's been very smooth so far. There are 46 of us in the class. And we've been able to connect without any problems, to recite, to participate, and our final exams are next week. So I'm busy preparing for that as well. Yeah, some of the exams will be online or take home a case that we have to work on. So there are ways around that.
Wow. So may case studies pa kayo.
Yeah, yes. We have so many case studies to prepare for every week because it's a case method kind of
Mm-mm.
learning. And that's what I find really interesting. It's not theory based. They don't tell you, okay, this is what we're going to learn today. They give you cases and we discuss, we debate, and we're able to learn a lot from each other because my classmates are from different disciplines also. I'm from HR. There are people who are engineers, finance people, lawyers. So we all learn from each other. Yeah.
What is the mode of instruction in the school? English or Spanish?
It's English, but of course there are certain things, there are certain expressions, etc., that cannot be translated, and that's why before starting this EMBA, this EMBA, I wanted to really learn the language first, which I did in around 4 or 5 months, and I got a certification for level B2, which is like sufficient enough for work purposes.
So did you get your certification in the Philippines or dyan na?
Here now. I did some Spanish classes in Instituto Cervantes in Manila. Like you did also,
I
right? You
did.
started,
Oo,
yeah.
2 lessons.
Masyado ka
Mm.
nang busy kasi.
Mm.
So I did some classes in the Philippines, but I started here pre-intermediate, like A1 or A2, and I really wanted to learn. So I made it like my full-time focus for 3 to 4 months. And it wasn't as hard as I thought. So that was just, ano naman, very fulfilling to be able to speak and even think sometimes in a different language.
Oo nga eh. Kaya when I talked to you kanina, the first thing I asked is, ¿Cómo estás?
Estoy muy bien. Muchas gracias.
Ang alam ko lang sagot doon, ito?
¿Y tú?
Bien. Muy
And you?
bien. Okay, so Mia, how is it there with the lockdown? What is the Spanish government doing to help the people? Kasi we've seen in CNN, in MSNBC, in ABC Fox, in our own TV, that the government is really having a hard time
Yes.
distributing to people who need help. Businesses are closed. What's the Spanish government doing to help the people there?
Well, it started when the lockdown was imposed. I think there were around only 577 cases in Madrid. But what alarmed them was that it had tripled overnight. Like the night before, it was only 200 something, and it became 577 the next day. So that's when they decided to close all the schools and universities and declare a nationwide quarantine. But the cases kept growing and growing, and now we're like in the top 3, I think, right, globally.
Mm-mm.
So what the government has done so far is they released a 200 billion euro fund for specifically for assistance for this. um in Spain kasi when you're unemployed, you get allowance, a paro they call it, and it's around 70% of the base pay. So I like there are less people who are left completely empty-handed in this crisis. There are also, of course, less homeless people in the streets, for example. So
Mm-mm.
that part, what they did for those who are homeless and refugees, they were put in a huge convention center. They were moved there and given housing and food. And then they converted another part of that convention center, it's called IFEMA,
Mhm.
into a hospital with 5,500 beds. And companies just, it was so overwhelming because companies just automatically donated everything they could. Like Iberia, the airline gave all their sanitized blankets. Zara, Inditex,
Mhm.
donated so many masks, converted their factories into making masks and PPEs for medical staff. Restaurants, because they're out of business, they started donating food, and they have a Food for Heroes program where people can buy meals online for the medical staff. So although the situation is quite bleak here, there's so much hope and optimism that I see in how the community just instantly banded together to help.
Mhm.
And every night here at 8 o'clock, everybody goes out of their windows and balconies to applaud the healthcare workers,
Mm-mm.
and that I really find heartwarming. And in typical Spanish fashion, they do it with music and dancing, and so it's I feel like it's still a hopeful time for us despite the crisis.
Do you see the ano? Do you see the applause? You have a
Yes, because it's
balcony.
I have a window, and sort of like a semi balcony. So yeah, it's everywhere, all over the country. So everybody goes out. That's like our social event of the day. to
Wow.
go, go out
Video
at
mo
eight
naman,
o'clock.
padala mo sa amin.
Okay, I'll send you one video. The first time it happened, I
Mm-mm.
was really moved to tears. I really cried because parang in the midst of all this, everyone is confused and scared and worried, and yet there's
Yeah.
this glimmer of hope. So yeah, I'll send you that video. It's beautiful.
Okay. So,
Mhm.
Mia, paano yan? Spanish, we were under Spain for 400 years, and Spanish is a very Catholic country,
Mm,
and it's Holy Week.
mm,
And it was Easter. It was Good Friday yesterday. It's Easter Sunday today. It's Black Saturday today. Tomorrow is Easter. How how for us Catholics it's so hard, di ba? May visit the iglesia and all those.
mm,
How
mm.
are the the people in Spain coping with having to stay home and religious services online?
Online. I think the same as in the Philippines. One of well, the thing is, it's not just religious for us, right? It's also cultural. So
Mm-mm.
that's something we really got from Spain. One of the most painful things I think for them is having to cancel all of the Holy Week processions, the very beautiful, caros um, with the Santos there,
Mm-mm.
right? So all of that, especially in areas like
Mm-mm.
Sevilla, um, where that's really their main event of the year. People travel to Sevilla just to see that, and they've had to cancel all of it. So it's sad, but faith is not limited to physical presence. So we go on, we pray, we watch the online masses from the Vatican, and
Mm-hmm.
that I think is particularly spiritual. It's a very powerful image to see Pope Francis by himself in in the
Oo.
Vatican, right?
Oo.
Hearing, yes, it's really powerful. So I really believe that our faith can get us through this.
Yes.
So
Faith. I like what you say. Faith is not limited to physical presence.
I
Mm.
mean, our faith is based on that. We don't see him, but we
Yeah.
we believe and we love. So yeah,
So you
faith
don't
is
have to.
here.
Faith is here, really, and faith. What we've been saying, faith over fear.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
indeed.
So Mia, paano yan? Your family is here, right?
My mom is in Cebu. That's right. And we talk every day. We
Mm.
talk every day for at least an hour. I mean, we always have, but now even more so. So she's okay, naman. She's doing okay. She hasn't left the house either. She talks to her sisters, her friends. So she's fine. How about you? Is your whole family with you at
Uh,
home?
my husband is here and he can't go out. My husband, as you know, is a cancer survivor, so he's limited to really go out. Makulit. Alam mo naman yung mga matatanda kagaya namin, makulit. Gustong-gusto lumabas.
Hindi ka matanda.
And my daughter is here, but she's kind of worried because she works in an airline, and the aviation industry is down, talagang
Yes.
down, and has to be bailed out by the government. But our government doesn't have money, so we will have to wait and see. My son is supposed to be leaving for Japan last March, but she's not happy that he wasn't able to go. But I'm happy that he's here because he doesn't speak the language. So hard. So there
Mm-mm.
is a time for everything. But my grandchildren are in there with their parents. So I Facebook Messenger. We do a lot of talks. I talk to them almost every day as well. Kaya lang hindi pa masyado naman nagsasalita yung mga 9-month-old, five
Mm-mm.
months old. So I just can see them. So and that my other apo is 3 years old. So okay naman. Online din ang teaching ng school.
Mm-mm. Yeah.
I
We,
just,
we
yeah, ako din eh, di ba, I'm a teacher. I just posted a reflection article that the students would have to submit a reflection paper on. It's how to manage your life after COVID.
That's a really good question because everything's gonna change after this. I mean, we really won't go back to exactly the way things were. The world has to adapt to this, and this is a really good opportunity to think about what we can contribute to the rest of the rest of the world right now. I mean, I think everybody has to help each other at this point. I don't know if I mentioned earlier that here rent has been adjusted. You can't be evicted from your place for at least 6 months, even if you
Wow.
can't pay rent. Taxes have been adjusted also. So whatever we can do to help, and also for those who are in business, the bigger companies are able to donate, but those who are small business owners are really having a hard time. So we need to think of ways of innovations to help each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are difficult times, but as you said, we will get through this.
Mm-mm.
Ikaw busy
we
ka nga
pray.
eh. We pray. Yes,
We
especially this Lenten season.
Mm-mm. But I really miss going out already. I mean, I used to always go to the park here. It's called Retiro Park. And it's very beautiful and very calming. So I used to go maybe at least once a week. And I miss doing that. I miss taking a walk. I miss watching the ducks in the lake there. So, here the lockdown is really, really strict. You can only go out to buy food or medicine, and you have to show the receipt when they ask for it. So mm, it's
Yeah.
hard to be in complete isolation for about a month now, and who knows how long, maybe another month. So
We, these things are not within our control. What
indeed.
what is in control is how we respond to COVID. How do we respond to this? Do
Yeah.
we follow the government? Do we just sleep and watch Netflix? I've been watching Money Heist. It's a Spanish
Yes.
uh,
Series.
teleserie.
Yes.
Yes, and I love it.
It's so popular. Yeah, La Casa de Papel, it's called here.
Mm-mm. Do you watch it
And
in Spanish?
yes, I do. It's a good way to practice, to watch it
Mm-mm.
in Spanish and remove the subtitles and see what Um, so yeah, there's no right way to cope. Some people are using the time to try to be productive, but that's not a requirement for everybody. I mean, as long as we are okay, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
If you want to spend the time watching Netflix, if you want to spend the time trying to volunteer for causes, or if you want to spend your time being angry at the government, it's a person's prerogative. Whatever we can do to cope, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Personally,
personal
I've been
choice. Mm.
I've been cooking a lot. I am so shocked that this is my coping mechanism is apparently cooking. So I really didn't know how to cook before this, but I had no choice because it's scary also to keep ordering delivery. So I used my mom's recipes and asked from friends, and it's been going well so far.
Yeah,
Cooking
I've
and
seen the
baking.
post eh. I've seen your post na paella. Paella. How do you pronounce it? Paella.
The double L is Y. So
Uh,
paella.
paella. Mhm.
Yes.
So Mia, you've been out for quite some time. We miss you.
I
If you've
miss you
seen,
all too. I really do.
if you've seen the kung nasa Vibe, if you're still in Viber with that benchmark group natin, so people are
Mm-mm.
posting. We are now having webinars with ICF, and people are just we've had free coaching also for those who need coaching.
Yes, I saw that. That's a great initiative. Yeah. A lot
Mm-mm.
of people are going to need it at this time.
Yeah, and we need a coach as well. The coaches need a coach as well.
Mm-mm. Yes, we do. It's a good reminder of why we do what we do, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Do you have any advice for people who are here in the Philippines who may not be as lucky as those who are there in Spain? I know, don't compare, but is there any advice that you have that you can give?
Mm, I wouldn't really call it advice because I'm not an authority on anything, but um, maybe just an encouragement to try as much as possible to remain positive as much as we can. Not the toxic positivity where you keep forcing yourself to be okay, but to try to see pockets of hope and optimism in this dark time. I mean, it's heartwarming to see people helping each other, connecting with each other, finding opportunities to be of service despite this. And maybe by doing that, it encourages others to do the same. And all of us will then get out of this as a stronger, more solid community. That's one thing I like about the culture and the people here. There's less bashing, I guess, less complaining, and more of trying to find solutions instead.
Yeah. So it's really encourage each other to remain positive.
Mm-mm.
And now is not the time to blame.
Yeah, I mean, of course, there are a lot of things that need improvement or that could have been done better. Okay, that's given. But yeah, now it's not the time to be pointing fingers. I mean,
Yeah. Now's the time to survive this.
yes.
I remember having asked Jack Canfield, I asked because people say, why will I even establish a goal now? We don't even know what tomorrow will bring. So do I
Mm.
keep to my vision board? Do I, plan na, all my speaking engagement has been postponed or canceled. So what? Sabi niya, now is the time to do goal setting. In fact, the number one goal that you should have is to survive,
Yes.
to get out of this as a better person.
That's great. It reminds me of this book called Man's Search for Meaning,
Yes, Victor Frankl.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, written during the Holocaust, and it's very important to visualize the kind of person you want to be after this. We can call it your best self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a good opportunity to work inwards, to work on yourself, and despite there being an uncertain future, I mean, there's a lot that can still be done.
I agree. And I thank you for saying yes to this.
Thank
And
you. It's a great time to be able to connect with you and see that you are happy and well.
yes, yes. And as you can see, there's an elliptical machine over there, which I use for
Mm-mm.
exercise. Hard. Init eh, summer na eh.
Oo nga,
Uh,
summer na. Do you miss
anyway.
going
Mm.
indoor cycling?
Oh yeah, I do. I do. I completed my 50 rides with my daughter.
You're so cool.
I, and have you seen my tattoo?
Oh, wow. Wow. I did not know that.
This is the second one. The first one is this. This one you've seen. Gratitude.
Gratitude, yes.
So reminds
Wow.
me to always be grateful. So
That's
thank you
beautiful.
very much, Mia, for spending some time with me.
Thank
And
you.
and I hope you keep safe. Hindi ko na alam sa Spanish yan. You just
Cuídate. It's cuídate mucho.
cuídate mucho. Keep
Yes.
safe and obviously stay home. And
Yeah.
hopefully we can have a call with Julius and the other members, with Doc Tony and the other members of our batch. I'll ask Julius if we can schedule one.
That would be so much fun.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very
Thanks for
much.
calling me
Thank
and take
you.
care to you
Take
and
care.
your
Happy
family.
Easter.
Happy Easter tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.